All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rebel Label Podcast. My name is R.E.B.E.L. I have Daniyell with me today.
Let's go.
We're on some brand new podcast shit, all that good stuff. You know what it is.
The only way.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
The only way. All right, man, how you been? You've been up to fucking big shit lately. I see you moving out here.
Man, I just been chilling, man. Just trying to help the world, man.
Yeah.
For real, just working.
Yeah, that's good shit, man. Playing these shows, getting it out here in Portland, fucking Oregon.
Yeah, man. I love my city, man. You know, I wanna do something big for the city and like make an impact out here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw you took a fucking picture with Ski Master. Some guy. What was it like meeting him?
Yeah, well, yeah, we were hanging out, man, at the Roseland,
Yeah.
and I was backstage, and we got a chance to chop it up and talk, and there should be some things coming. So yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Big shit. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. So, you're like reaching this next level, right?
Mhm.
You're onto some big shit. What are the plans? You know, like what's your goal in mind?
My goal really is to keep growing my fan base. You know,
Mhm.
I see a lot of artists that break out and they just blow up with a hit single and then they fall off because they didn't build that initial fan base and like
Yeah.
they didn't
Yeah.
they didn't work on like connecting with their fans.
Mm.
Like fame is cool and all, but like I really just want to connect with my fans and make sure I always maintain that relationship with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what's the message behind that then?
Mhm.
Like when you're connecting with your fans, like what are you talking about? You know, what do you have to say to them?
Because first of all, you all you know this. You're not fans. You're family. First of all, I hate the word fans because
Yeah.
it's so like fans is fanatic. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like they're below you or something. Like no,
Mm.
all my fans are family. Period. The kosher family. It's kosher wear no way. And pretty much it means to me is like the youth. You know, the youth that go through the heartbreak, that go through the low times in their life, that go through shit and really feel like no one understands. And they know I understand. And I always engage with them and let them know and talk to them. Like yesterday I posted on my Instagram, I asked them, what's your biggest fear? And I got so many responses that were deep and like people saying like deep things about depression, about heartbreak, about their fear is love, their fear is death, or you know, different things. And I got to really get to know them better. And that was a beautiful thing for me, like, because I understand.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, like building community, you know,
Yeah.
because that's something that I find interesting is like we have the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the internet almost makes things like so homogenous. Like
Yeah.
everything is like one culture now.
Yeah.
And you see people like in these little groups, but nobody's honestly like really connecting about stuff.
For real.
You know, and if they are, it's like, you know, it's through autonomy, right? Like you don't know anybody's face, but like on
Yeah.
Instagram and shit like that, like, you know, you putting that stuff out, you can like actually connect with people, you know,
Yeah.
and like your fans or, you know, your family or whatever the fuck
Mm.
can see that like, all right, like people are actually talking about this shit
No,
and it's
for real.
okay. you
Yeah,
know?
and that's what's important. That's why I do it. When I wanna say how I feel,
Yeah.
and I want them to know that they're not the only one that feels that way. And I'm smiling because I'm just thinking about yesterday with the conversations that I had with the people, that it makes me feel like people understand me too. And I'm not the only one that goes through what I go through. I tell my supporters my family what I go through because I want them to know they're not alone in their thoughts. Period.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's big shit,
Yeah.
you know? And there's like such a gap with that now,
Yeah.
you know? Cuz like, you know, like with X dying, like
Yeah.
so many kids held on to fucking
X was a huge influence on our culture.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of artists come and go. Like they make a couple hits, you know, the Lil Pumps. Sorry, bro. The Lil Pumps. And then, but what is the impact they're really going to have? X had
Yeah.
like a huge fucking impact, and he was like there for me.
Yeah.
Even though I never physically met him, I felt like he was physically there.
Yeah, and that's, you know, and that's big shit, and especially too like somebody with him, how versatile he was.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's what I love too.
like we're getting to see how his legend is playing out, you know, through his fans and the people that supported him in the
Yeah.
community, you know, because he left such a big gap of, oh fuck, what are we gonna do now,
Exactly.
you know, and And honestly, to me, the way that I see music going and the way that I see fans and stuff, I see people like X becoming more popular. You know what I mean? But almost becoming more like individual and like underground, you know, like being able to tour and being able to make a bunch of money and do all that stuff. Except that now it's not super about fame anymore. You know, it's about building. Exactly. It's about that like individual connection, and it's about that like actually having a community, and that's what's dope.
See, fame like is a lot of people when you first start making music. Of course, I was like, man, I want to be famous, but now it's like I don't even want to be like famous. Like one of my people, I really like artist Kurt Cobain, part of Nirvana.
Yeah.
You can just see how fame affected someone like him. You know, someone who's not like even mentally stable, like myself. And so sometimes I'm like, am I ready for fame? Because like I feel like that would fuck me up, and that's why I build that connection with my fans, because I feel like as I continue to grow, they're always gonna be there for me.
Yeah, and real talk, there's no fucking fame training program.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like I feel you hard on that. Sometimes I think about that too. Like, when my career gets to that point to actually become famous, like, am I ready for that shit?
Right.
You know, because I couldn't listen when people stare at me on the street now. I'm like, the fuck. You know,
you're
like
paranoid.
Yeah, a little bit, man. Because I have a bunch of people that just stare at me, like in the grocery stores. And I mean, even though it is a hot chick, and I'm like, all right, bet that's cool.
Right.
But it's still kind of like, the fuck you staring at me for?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I. And
but imagine when like.
Yeah. Yes, and imagine a bunch of people doing that all the time. That'd be some crazy shit.
For real.
You know, and I couldn't imagine what that does to somebody's psyche.
Because when I had like when I perform, that's always like for me the best moments is being able to be on stage and perform for like the people that like my music and like understand what I'm going through. Because you know, backstage, like there's always like a lot of people just around, and you're like, who are these people? Like, I don't know you guys, like, but everyone wants to be your friend, you know, and like you, which is fine. Like I'm friendly with everyone, but it's like you never know who's really there for you as you keep going. Yeah,
it's true. There's a lot of fake shit, and it's interesting, like talking to people that have like had success, or like, you know, just watching interviews and stuff. Something they always say, it's like there's that like almost reverse psychology going on. Like when the person is at the peak success, they're telling them like, oh, it's gonna end soon. Yeah. You know, like all that shit. Yeah. And like, and it's so important to get good people on your team. You know, people that you can trust.
That's why I try to keep, you know, solid people around me. Yeah. Me and my friends. Kosher way, the only way.
Yeah. No, exactly. And like, and shit, that's just important in life. So many people don't have just like solid friends. You know?
I don't. Trust me. You guys are not the only ones. I have a whole bunch of fake friends. Yeah. And to this day, I don't know exactly who they are. They know who they are too. But it's like, it's just real. Like, that's why I talk about a lot of my music too. Like, I talk about the fake friends, because I used to feel like I was just, something was wrong with me. Like, I feel like, what's wrong with me? Why are all my friends like switching up? Why are people acting weird? Or why people say they got me, and then how could, like, look at me in the face and lie to me? Like they're really there for me, but they're not. And then I realize I'm not the only one. And then but it's just there. There's a whole bunch of fake friends, bro. It's just part of life, and it's a sad truth.
Yeah, man. I was at a similar place like a few years ago when I was, how old are you right now?
I don't say.
All right.
Well, I'm young as fuck.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess you're like 16.
Young as fuck.
All right, you're 16, 17. We'll put it at that. But like I don't know, 3-4 years ago for me, I had like a similar situation. Like I had a bunch of people that were around me that were not looking out for me, just like feeding me bad shit all the time, like doing all that stuff, and like I had to make a fucking big change in my life, you know, because I wanted to die, right? Like that was it. Like,
I feel that.
Like I was like, I'm ready. Like I didn't think I would live to see fucking 18. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
Like I was on a mission for that shit, but you call it God or higher power, or whatever the fuck, something intervened, you know? And like I was just blessed with a bunch of like actually solid people in my life,
right?
You know, and like in a group of people that I could turn to at like call at like 3 a.m, you know,
For
and
real.
that has been the biggest blessing of my life. And finding those people, and now like what I do to be of service is like I'm that person to people, you know what I mean? Like, even if I don't know them that well.
Right.
I barely sleep.
Right.
like somebody could call me at fucking 4 a.m. and I'm ready.
Like an insomniac.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually up. Somebody called me last night at like 4 a.m. I was ready to talk for like an hour. You know what I mean?
No, for real. I'm there for all my friends.
Yeah.
And not just my friends, my supporters too. Like I had like a kid DM me the other day, and he was like talking about like how his parents don't understand him. He's 13, and he's like really fucks with the music. And I sat there and talked to him for hours. He's like, why would you sit here and talk with me? Like, you're here with ski mask, you're here performing, you're here doing this and that, and you're getting mad numbers. Like, why would you want to sit here and talk to me? It's like, that's not what it's about, bro. It's about, like I said, it's about you guys. It's about being here for you guys at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been able to build a lot of crazy relationships online through this music shit and learn a lot about people. And yeah, I promise like forever like to be solid. Like I don't ever want to be on fake shit. I don't like fake shit. I don't like fake people.
Yeah, because you put out like what you get back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's not even that. Like I don't even think about it. Like I don't think about it for return. I just want to like do. Like even if I get nothing back, my life could be shit. But as long as I'm helping other people, I'll be fine.
Yeah. So what drove you to want to create that community? You talk about that like lack of like real friendships, but like starting from a kid. Like, did you have that solid foundation as a kid, and then it got broken up, or?
Well, yeah. I mean, it all started, like, for me, like my father not really being active in my life, and like, kind of like, not being around all the time. But I guess for me, and like, I was really like an outcast in school.
Yeah.
I was just different, and I've always, like, in elementary school, kids would just, like, bully me and, like, just treat me weird and, like, call me names and shit. It's, like, it sounds, like, funny, but it's, like, it's real shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was, like, bullied a lot. Hey, peanut M&M's, the kosher way, sponsor me. But, I was bullied a lot, and we moved around a lot because we were homeless. And we had to move like 8 fucking times, and I had to like constantly try to adapt to my environment and try to fit in. Like I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be a part with everything else. There was a time where skinny jeans was cool, and like jerk. I tried to do that shit because I wanted to be what everything else was.
Yeah.
But I'm like kind of happy I moved around so much because it helps me adapt to environments easier now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I feel you too. I mean, when I was in elementary school, I dressed weird as fuck. Because for some reason, I thought that like canes were cool. So I used to carry around a fucking cane in elementary school.
Like wizard? Shit?
No, like a pimp cane. I thought that shit was cool. And so all the kids are like, why the fuck are you carrying around a goddamn steel cane on the fucking playground?
Right.
I was like, I don't know. This shit is cool. Why the fuck are you wearing overalls?
Right.
You know, so I feel you on that shit. You know?
Now it's like I love about our culture now, all my family and my supporters is that we're so comfortable just being ourselves. Like everyone can just be themselves now and express themselves the way they want to. You should never feel like you have to change yourself to fit in with something. I always used to do that in middle school and try to just be like everybody else, just so people would like me. But it's like now, like fuck that. Just do what you want. Fuck anybody liking you. Like express yourself. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, and you know the interesting thing for me too is like the whole internet culture, like rap, hip hop kind of thing. Like nowadays, it seems like so many people try to be weird. You know, like that's the thing that I find fascinating because there seems like there's a lot of people that are just like fucking normal ass people that like try to act all weird. Yeah, you know.
No, that's real.
And that's the thing that I find fascinating because it's like, listen. If you're just about some normal as fuck shit, then just
be normal.
Yeah, then just do that shit.
Be yourself.
Like, yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just be yourself.
Yeah, like don't get.
I'm weird as fuck, y'all. I don't know if you relate to that, but I'm weird as fuck. I'm sorry.
And that's the funny thing, like, you know, people getting a bunch of face tattoos and shit to get famous.
I thought about it, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I said when I get a couple million, I might.
Do you know what's funny? I saw that one meme. It's like, I don't want to look like a Chipotle bag, and I'm like, you know
Right.
what? I feel that. I
Right.
definitely don't want to look like a fucking Chipotle bag.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like when I do get tattoos, like, you know, I have them be about some shit.
Yeah, I'm about to get tatted, but not on the face.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely want to get some neck shit. You know, but I mean, I'm the kind of person that I plan out for years tattoos though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a tattoo on, you can see it on my Instagram. It's on my right, like right over here, and it's of this hand holding a rose, and it's actually this Andy Warhol piece, you know, and it reminds me to hold on to beauty in life. And on my other side, I'm gonna get a skeleton hand holding a wilted flower to represent like duality and the like finality of life. But at the same time, realizing that like everything, this is okay. Just because the flower existed and died doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. At least it existed, you know?
That's real.
And like,
I fuck with that.
And that's the kind of shit that I put on my body, not like a knife, you know?
I want to put shit on my body that like means something to me.
Yeah.
Like a heartbreak.
Yeah.
Because I've been heartbroken a lot, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I feel you. I mean, I got the fucking...
Hey,
I got the broken heart, and I got that like 2 days after fucking X died, because I was just fucked up over it, and I was like, you know what, like I had recently gone through some shit too, like I got through 2 heartbreaks in like 6 months. That shit was fucked up.
Yeah, bro.
That shit was not fun. Good material for music though. That's a fucked up thing for me. I be thinking about that shit sometimes.
Love to me is like, it never really works out for me. Like I always find like someone in my life that's really good, but it's always like a temporary thing. Yeah. So like, it's crazy. Like you ever just spend every day with someone, and like just build such a good connection with them, and then they fade away.
Yeah, that shit happens a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and something that I've come to realize is that like I have those friends like I was talking about that I know they will always be around. Like them are fucking ride or die people. But at this, on the same hand, I have those people that will be hanging out for like just 3 months straight, and then out of nowhere they'll just be gone. You know,
I learned like sometimes some of the most beautiful things are temporary.
Yeah, exactly. Like the fucking flower. You know what I mean? Like those friendships are intense while they last. You know.
They're crazy.
Or those relationships or whatever. You know, romantic or not. Like. I just learn to appreciate those while they're happening.
Right, just live for the moment.
Yeah.
Not think back to the past, not think to the future. And when they fade away, just accept it as it is and move on to the next.
Yeah, and the interesting thing to me is like the way we perceive time falls so much into that. Yeah. You know, because since we perceive it linearly and we look at it as like, oh, it was only 3 months, you know, but if you look at it from a different perspective as like an ocean, you know, and like everything is just like little drops in the ocean, then you can sort of appreciate it more.
There's a quote from a book by Napoleon Hill. He says, "Love is euphorical. It comes when it wishes and leaves when it pleases. And while it's here, enjoy it, but spend no time worrying about its departure." Yeah. Yeah, that's real. I feel that. That's my
good
life.
Shit. Yeah, it's like happiness.
Yeah.
You know, like to me, happiness is like just for an instant. You know what I mean? It's like the fucking kid on a carousel. Yeah. But like joy lasts forever.
Yeah, it does. And like sometimes I feel like I have moments where it leaves. Yeah. I feel like I'm in like a dark place and it's never gonna change, but something always comes back around to like lift me up. Yeah. Everything's temporary, for real.
Yeah. I think that's one of the greatest arguments against suicide that I've ever heard. You know? Because it's like...
Yeah, a lot of like my supporters get like these tattoos like on their arm or something. Like everything is temporary. Because they want to remind themselves that dark place out there and doesn't last. And it's real, it doesn't. I've been in so many dark places in my life and in my mind, and it never lasts forever.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's that one thing is like trying to get that perspective is hard sometimes or any of that shit. You know? Because it feels like, oh, this moment is going to be it. You know?
It's the end of the world. Yeah. I kind of live like that. I've been thinking everything's the end of the world.
That's one thing that I'm finally glad. Like I'm just now like getting some good perspective. You know what I mean? Being able to like take a breath and calm down and like actually collect my thoughts before I speak. Yeah. You know? Because that's just hard sometimes.
Yeah, like I recently just did my first headline show at the Rosen Theater. Yeah. It was crazy turnout. Good shit. It was. And before the show, I was in the green room just super anxious and like super nervous. Like still to this day, I'm like, I wonder if people are gonna like it. I wonder if people are gonna show up. Like, I still think that to this day. And to go out to that crowd and have that energy, that's what like brought me out of that anxiety. Like, it really like made me happy that night to see everyone and then meet everyone after the show. It was so crazy.
So you're talking a little bit about like moving around and being homeless and stuff like that as a kid. Like, when did you actually get like a stable home and you were able to like have one place to live, or has that not happened yet?
I feel like I will never be stable. But now it's to a point where it's a lifestyle now. Like, I kind of don't want to sit anymore. I moved around so much when I was young and never really like adapted to one place, and now it's just like I want to move around all the time. I can't be stable. Like, if I sit in one place for too long, I get depressed.
Are you talking about staying in Portland but moving around, or are you talking about literally moving everywhere?
Well, I definitely want to travel the world soon. I was talking to some like supporters from London, and they want me to come out there and rage with them. I'm like, fuck, I want to do that shit. I really want to go to the UK. I really want to go there and like perform with them and hear them, meet the people that fuck with my music. Like, I want to go meet the people I'm inspiring. I love my city. Like I say, I'm always gonna put on for my city. Always gonna get back for my city. But there's some places I have to go and some people I have to meet and some life I have to live.
Yeah.
Some things I want to do. And yeah, that's my next goal. Go to the UK.
Yeah, that's good shit. One thing that makes me excited is that like a lot of people that listen to my music are in like Amsterdam and shit. And I'm like, holy fuck. If I want to do a show, I could go to the fucking Netherlands and do a show. Like, that shit would be dope.
Me, like, I have a solid team, and like, we really want to just go. Like, let's take these risks. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I'm like, let's just go. Let's go meet these people. I only live once, and even if I go to a show in fucking Australia and 5 people come, the next one will keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'll be able to keep growing that. But right now, it's like there's so many people all over the world that listen to my music, and that, to me, that's the biggest blessing for me right now, and the reason I keep going. No, there's someone listening.
Yeah, man, that's crazy shit. That's like the power of the internet, you know? People that might even not understand English will like listen.
Today
to
I got a DM. You know who you are. Today I got a DM, and they're like, he was like from Russia. He's like, I don't speak English very well, but can you send me the lyrics to Do What You Want? And I was like, fuck. So I went on Rap Genius right then, typed the whole shit out for that one guy, sent him the fucking link, got it on Rap Genius, or Genius now, and sent him the lyrics. And now like more people were able to go find the lyrics because of that one thing. So now I'm like, fuck, now I got to write out all my lyrics just because there's people everywhere listening.
Yeah, it was good shit. I remember when Rap Genius, when Genius was Rap Genius, when it was literally just a forum.
I had like my dad's laptop, and I would just like go on Rap Genius and like click the meanings of the words.
Yeah.
And, like, what is Drake talking about? Or what is fucking I was obsessed with Michael Jackson when I was like 7. I used to try to dance like him. For real. I can never learn a moonwalk though.
Oh, right? What?
Yeah, that's like my Jewish side. I don't really have really good dance skills.
No, I feel that. I'd be embarrassing myself because I'm Cuban.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I could dance, but you know, I can't fucking dance salsa. You know what I mean?
I couldn't dance.
Yeah. No, I feel that though. I remember I used to just scroll through Genius and like read Earl Sweatshirt lyrics.
Oh, Earl Sweatshirt was like an idol to me.
Yeah.
He helped me through a lot of my like depression and shit.
Yeah, Earl Sweatshirt and like MF Doom and people like that. Like,
yeah, I never really got into MF Doom, but Earl Sweatshirt was like that guy to me. And he had like, I don't like to go outside. Or
yeah.
What's it called?
I don't like to do shit. I don't like to go outside. Like,
I love that
like
album. It's so different and unique, and the production really inspired because I make my own beats.
Yeah.
And that really inspired me to like.
Well, he has a lot of Brazilian samples on that shit. Like some like that. Like that's the kind of research I do. I look into samples. You know what I mean? And like, you know, especially for me, somebody that actually doesn't sample a lot. Like sometimes even something I do, this is a little fucking top secret shit. I will like make a song and then I'll even just resample it, you know, into like a fucking beat if that's what I want to do, you know.
On Dirty Adidas, I got inspired by the Super Mario theme song. So if you listen to Dirty Adidas and wonder why it sounds familiar, go listen to Super Mario's soundtrack.
similar shit.
I love games, but I don't really play games like that. But I love old games.
Yeah.
Like Super Mario, Galaga.
Galaga?
However you fucking say it.
You were close. Like
I was close. And I used to go online and like this. I never had like the actual systems. I would type in Super Mario online and play the shit with my keyboard online and shit.
Yeah. So you said you grew up playing like Mario Kart and shit like that?
Yeah, like Super Mario.
Yeah.
Like shit like that, or like Wii.
Yeah.
I love old games. I love that nostalgic feeling. I love everything nostalgic. That's why I like wear vintage tees and like rock shirts. And like I feel like I'm in the wrong era. I feel like it should be in the past.
I used to feel like that. That's funny. Just talking to you just reminds me of exactly where I was when I was like 16.
Really?
Dude, I thought I was fucking like Jim Morrison when I was 16.
I kind of get a rock star vibe from you.
Yeah.
We're all rock stars.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're fucking like rappers are the new rock stars. But anyway, like that's exactly the kind of trip that I was on. I thought I was in the wrong generation. You know what I mean? Like I used to listen to like psychedelic rock and all that stuff and like just proto punk and whatnot. Like I was super into those bands.
Yeah.
And I used to listen to like Delta blues, like shit from like, I don't know if you ever listen to any of that old stuff, but that stuff is fucking phenomenal, you know?
Listen to the Police Walking on the Moon.
Yo, I saw the Police in concert. That was one of my first concerts. Yeah.
Giant steps are what they take. Walking on the moon.
It was a good song.
I love that song.
That's a good song.
I actually found out about that song from an episode of The Simpsons where Homer Simpson was like walking like this, and the song was playing, and then I forever like listened to it from there.
Now The Simpsons is a dope show. I used
fucking
to watch
love The
that
Simpsons,
shit
and it's
so
still running,
much.
bro.
Yeah,
it's still fucking running.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not good anymore.
No, it's not good anymore.
Yeah,
but it's still running.
It's still at least it's around. Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
For the new, I don't think who watches it. I don't know anyone that watches The Simpsons still, like the new shit.
I don't know. I watch the old seasons sometimes.
Yeah,
though.
I watch the old ones. Yeah, but not the new ones.
Cause that shit was good. Like that was prime time fucking television when I was a kid. Like that shit was awesome. Cause like especially too, cause I remember they had episodes where like characters were super in depth, and I could relate to that shit. You know what I mean? Like Lisa would go through some shit, and she'd like lose her saxophone or something like that. You know? And I remember
you used to lose your saxophone.
Yo, I used to play saxophone actually. Yeah,
oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I think I did lose my saxophone watching some shit, so I think I could literally relate to it.
What we do too, like it's relatable.
Yeah,
I feel that. Yeah, I mean, that whole era kind of influences my music too.
Yeah,
like that, like old cartoon kind of nostalgic feeling.
Yeah,
because I feel like I'm in like a cartoon world all the time.
That reminds me of a quote from Basquiat. You know who Basquiat is?
Yeah, the designer, the artist.
Yeah, the painter. But like there was this interview, and this fucking guy was asking, so why are all the people in your paintings so crude? And he goes, because I don't know any refined people.
Nothing's perfect.
Yeah, and that shit was like, yeah, that makes really perfect sense to me.
I get DMs from girls like, why are you so perfect? I'm like, I'm not. I'm far from perfect. I'm like the least perfect person you know, for real.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Like, I think imperfection is perfect. That's an oxymoron, but I think imperfection is what makes people them.
Yeah,
I like seeing different people just shine through their personalities and shit. And
that's true. The interesting thing to me is that like some of those things, like those character defects or whatever you want to call them, are the things that make us the greatest about who we are.
Yeah.
Because at some point in our lives, all those like negative character traits that we had helped us in some way, and they still can help us. It just depends on how you use it, you know? And like thinking about it like that, like instead of thinking about the way that I'm wrong in some areas, you know, or how about like, oh, I'm fucking up or something. Looking at it like, all right, so why?
Right, and that's why I don't really judge people that are like, that are going through things. Like, for example, like I know girls that like are running away from their problems, so they run to like drugs and shit. And it's like, obviously I don't agree with everything that people do, but it's like, I get it. Like, we all just kind of want to run away from reality. Like, do you ever feel like you just don't want to be here? Like, fuck this shit. I get that.
Yeah. And like, it's really easy to get in that shit now in this generation. You know, because like
fuck Xans though.
Well,
Don't
yeah,
do that shit.
yeah, fuck Xans. Well, I'm not even just talking about drugs. I'm talking about the internet. You know what I mean? It's so easy to just go on Instagram and just, you know, or Tumblr or whatever the fuck your thing is, and just like scroll for days.
That's what I do. I get the most depressed when I go on Instagram and start comparing myself to other people and scrolling.
Right.
Comparison is a thief of joy, and so I'll be scrolling. I'll be like, oh, their life looks so lit, and then I lose sight of what makes my life a life worth living. But then, yeah, Instagram is evil. It's like a facade. It's like you're creating this idea.
Yeah, because it's not real.
It's not real.
People only put their best shit on Instagram, you know, or like or Facebook or whatever the fuck.
That's why I try to put like my worst shit on there. I want you guys to know I'm fucked up too.
Yeah, that's. I like that shit though. It's good. That's good stuff because it takes fucking courage to say that stuff, you know. Yeah. Especially like to the public. Yeah. You know.
And then it's crazy because when I meet like, I was at the ski show, as you know, and I met a supporter, a family member, and we took a picture, and he was just like, he already knew me, like he already felt like he knew me, and that's what I want you to know, because I want you guys to know everything about me, and I want to know everything about you, and then know that we're always, no matter what I go through, we go through this together.
Yeah. And that's the thing that's exciting to me, like I post Instagram stories sometimes and shit like that, and I love that like 200 people or whatever the fuck number can like look at my dumbass Instagram story and be like, oh, I love that shit, and people would DM me all the time.
Some people love it, some people hate it.
Yeah. But
that's what's polarizing.
Yeah.
The balance between love and hate. You don't want everyone to love you. And that's why, and that's actually, if you like are really like gonna really fuck with like Instagram and use it, just remember that not everyone's gonna love you.
Oh no, you're gonna catch a lot of haters.
And because that's what's polarizing. The fact that you can attract a whole bunch of opinions from different kinds of people. I want people to hate me.
Yeah. Well, it's the same shit out in real life. Like my whole life, I've had people that have fucking hated me. Yeah. For one reason or another, and I'm at a point where I'm like, you know what? Hate is like the same thing as love. It's just like distorted a little bit.
Yeah. R.E.B.E.L says jealousy is just love and hate at the same time. It's been that way since the beginning. I just been playing. I ain't even noticed I was winning. Shout out Drake.
Yeah. But like, I don't know, the interesting thing to me, like when I got my first few haters, you know, when I first got on Instagram, and it must have been like March or some shit, and I noticed there were like 5 people that just hated me on Instagram. You know, they like DM me all the time or some shit. And like, and I had that realization, like, oh shit, these people fucking love me.
Right.
They might love me even more than some of the actual people that are liking and commenting on all my stuff.
Shout out the Fuck Daniyell page on Instagram that comments on all my posts saying I'm trash. I love you so much. Shout out Fuck Daniyell, man. Comment on the comments below, man. I love you. You hate me, but I love you.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, there's someone, I don't know who it is, but Fuck Daniyell's in the comments. And they're always commenting, and all my supporters always get on them, man.
Do you know what's like? Do you know what that is? That's like your evil twin. You know how Superman had that like evil twin Bizarro or some shit?
Yeah.
that's your Bizarro.
Yeah, I love you. Even though it's fuck me, I still love you. Kosher wear, no way. Positivity.
Yeah. So who are some of the biggest influences that you took when you were growing up?
Like music and wise and shit.
Or even just art. I know me. I'm influenced by a lot of writers and poets.
Yeah.
So
I'm influenced by Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is my idol because he didn't listen to what anyone else had to say. He followed his heart. He said, fuck that. I'm not going to fall into dogma, which is listening to the voice of others. I'm going to do what the fuck I want. So forever I made a vow to myself that I'm going to do what the fuck I want, never listen to what anyone has to say, and follow my heart and live my best life. I'm living my best life.
That future meme is the
I ain't
best.
Going back and forth with you niggas.
I'm living my best life. Yeah, that's
for real though.
That's good shit.
But no, Steve Jobs, he created a $1 billion company out of his garage. You know, I record out my bedroom. Anything's possible.
Yeah, no, I feel that, and that's the most exciting thing. Like I record out of my bedroom too, but I also got a studio.
Dang.
Yeah, but I also got a studio with fucking like 2 tape decks and like all that shit, and like you know $3,000 microphones and all that stuff. But the funny thing is, I choose not to use it because I like my bedroom.
Yeah, I think my mic's like $200, maybe less.
Nice.
And I use Logic. I'm just normal.
Hey, Logic. That's good. I use that same.
But like, I just like, I want to like, you can really, anyone can do this shit. Like, I'm just following my heart.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell my supporters. Supporters is like, I hate that word too. I just don't want to use any of those words. Like, I want to create my own word for it. I will soon. But right now, I'll call you the kosher family. Kosher family, like, I let them know, follow your heart. Like when I posted yesterday, what's your biggest fear? One said, I want to be the perfect daughter for my parents. I responded and said, don't be what they want. Be what you want, period. Because there's so many people that, like, choose to be doctors and lawyers and shit for their parents, and then their life is miserable because they didn't live the dream out that they wanted to live.
Yeah.
Life is too short for that. Do what you want and be happy doing it.
Yeah, well, and also too, like, the prescribed path that, you know, is told that you're told to go on, like, go to high school, go to college.
Yeah.
You know, get your degree, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, white picket fence and 2.5 kids and all that bullshit. You know, like, that's not for everybody. College isn't for everybody. Kids isn't for everybody, you know? And that's the thing, like, we still do have this fucking idea that, like, there's one way of living. You know?
I'm kind of just, like, figuring everything out as I go.
Yeah. So that's what everybody is doing.
Right.
Nobody. I think that's like one of the biggest lies is that anybody has anything figured out.
Right.
You know?
I don't have shit figured out. If anyone tells you, the reason I say follow your heart is because I can't tell you what to do because I don't know myself. I'm still figuring it out. That's why I say follow your heart. Do what you want. Live the life you want because no one else can tell you what to live. Not even me.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
absolutely.
If anyone, like, talks to you like they have it all figured out, they're bullshitting. No one knows what they're talking about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Fully. Just, no one does.
And honestly, it would be boring if we had everything figured out.
Yeah, perfect life sounds horrible.
Yeah, right? What would we do without conflict?
Have you ever watched The Truman Show?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Favorite movie.
Yeah.
That's what it would be like. You know?
That sounds horrible.
Right, and it's like
living up that perfect, pristine shit.
It's kind of like I relate to that movie. The reason it's my favorite movie is because everyone around him was actors and actresses, and he didn't know. That's kind of how I feel all my friends are.
You gotta be careful with that shit, though.
Yeah.
You gotta get those people out of your life. It's really that bad for you.
Yeah. Right now I don't have any real friends, but actually, shout out my DJ ISOXO. I love you, bro.
There you go. Good shit, man. Well, I think it's about that time to wrap up. We've had a fucking dope conversation. Always
it's
like
lit.
Talking to you, Daniyell. Always good shit. My name is R.E.B.E.L. You can find me on Instagram, Spotify, SoundCloud, Facebook, all that shit at arii.grove on Instagram. Fucking text me, send me an email, however the fuck you want to do it. Reach out to me, listen to music, do all that good shit. Where can we find you?
My name is Daniyell. First of all, I love you. I'm here for you forever. You can find me on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/DaniyellMusic. Feel free to message me on there. Message me on Instagram at DaniyellIG, MySpace at DaniyellMusic, and Spotify at Daniyell. But I use MySpace more, so hit me up on there. Kosher Wear No Way.
Bring it back MySpace.
Oh, and Daniyell on YouTube.
Bring it back MySpace.
Subscribe. I got some crazy shit coming soon. And I love you. Comment Kosher again below. Let them know how we coming. Let's go.
Bring back MySpace. There we go. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching to the new and improved Rebel Label podcast. My name is R.E.B.E.L, and I will see you later.
Yeah. Do I cross your mind, shawty? Do I cross your mind? Do I cross your mind, shawty? Do I cross your mind? Please don't tell no lies, shawty. Please don't tell no lies. Please don't tell no lies, shawty. Please don't tell no lies. Do I cross your mind, shawty? Do I cross your mind? Do I cross your mind, shawty?